expires, you can still watch UBC for free on your pay TV platforms.
Hello and welcome. Good to know you're watching the National Broadcaster. It's always a pleasure to spend time with you. My name is Sandra Kahonde, welcoming you for this special edition coming your way as far as Education Forum is concerned. Well, when you think about education, you think about the infrastructure and a lot of work. But today it's totally different. Entrepreneurial skills really do matter. And how can you get into the job market? Lots of things that we tend to think about. And at an institutional level, amazing work. I love the fact that women are getting into this, they're right on board, and the men are giving us space to get to such planning as far as education and having a great system approach is concerned when it comes to our children, and knowing that we spend most of the time with the youngsters. And the other fact is that government is also putting in a lot when it comes to education itself, and I know the other sectors do matter. And the ICT that is taking center stage, our institutions this time round are also getting into the tech world, amazing. And other stakeholders out there, we salute you for supporting the learning from these very platforms in these various institutions, and knowing that when the water flows, it comes from the top flowing down. So when institutions are much better, then you definitely get the good teachers, the good lecturers, and the good people that will be operating the different spaces as far as a nation is concerned. A lot to say for this particular product that is coming your way today, this particular program, and to give us more insight for today's episode. Gender balance. I have a woman on this panel. I'm having a woman on this panel, and great men are right here. So you know what we're here to talk about will be put into practice. For this particular edition, I am joined by the chairperson from Bositema University, the chairperson of the convocation, that is Engineer Badru Mosinguzi. At the extreme end, I'll just introduce my guest there, joining us for this discussion on the panel this lovely day. Good to have you, Engineer Badru. How have you been?
I'm okay. Hello to the viewers. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you for hosting us, Sandra.
Thanks for honoring the invitation. And just next to Engineer Badru, I am joined by the Public Relations Officer from Bositema University, Mrs. Peace Karunji. You're most welcome. How have you been?
I'm okay. Thank you, Sandra. Hello, viewers, and thank you for tuning into UBC.
Good to have a woman on the panel. How does it feel to be between the gentlemen?
Yeah, it feels like we are competing favorably. Yeah.
Oh, amazing. And just next to me, I am having the Senior Assistant Registrar, Bositema University. You're most welcome, Mr. Chisaka. Please let the viewer get to know more about you.
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. Hello, viewers. My name is Kisaka Willie Masete. I'm a Senior Assistant Registrar, Bositema University, in charge of Senate and academic programs. Thank you for this opportunity to be here with you.
Well, I think I should start with the gentleman next to me, the registrar. I am sure, like you have a CEO, everything, you need to be the CEO in the kitchen, the CEO in whichever welfare, whichever department. You'd be the right person to tell us more about the university, a bit about the university, its background.
Thank you, Sandra. I've already introduced myself. Let me talk about Bositema University. Bositema University is a public university established by statutory instrument number 22 of 2007. And by this establishment, it's located in the eastern part of Uganda. And it was supposed to, and is running as a multi-campus model for Eastern region. And it exists in actually 6 campuses, whereas the instrument mandated it to exist in 7 campuses. so far we are in 6 campuses. And these campuses are actually faculties in the operations. We have the main campus, Bustema campus, where the central administration is located. That's where you get management and top management of the university. And in the university setting, we talk about top management. We mean the vice chancellor, the deputies, the heads of departments, who are the academic registrar, the dean of students, the university secretary, and the bursar. You get them at Bustema campus. The second campus, which is actually in the Bustema campus, we also have the faculty of engineering, where we run a multitude of programs. The second campus is in Nagongera, and it's where you get a faculty of science and education, and we have numerous academic programs mounted there. And the third campus is in Mbale, faculty of health sciences, located in the main, it's called Mbale Regional Referral Hospital. That's where you get us. We have a number of programs that are health related, Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery. We have Bachelor of Science in Nursing. We have Bachelor of Science in Anesthesia and Master's programs. We also have the fourth campus in Arapai. In this campus, we have the faculty of agriculture and animal sciences, and we have programs like animal production and management. We have Bachelor of Science in Agriculture and so many others. The fifth campus is in Parisa. It's called the Faculty of Management Sciences, where we have PhD programs there, like PhD in Business Management and Administration, and the master's programs, MBA, and other undergraduate programs. The sixth campus is in Namasagali, former college in Kamuli. It's a campus that runs programs that are related under the it's called Faculty of Natural Resources and Environmental Sciences. There we have programs like Natural Resource Environment, Master of Climate Change, and others. Bustema University, we run a total of 80 academic programs. Of all these, we have 5 PhD programs. We have PhD in the business administration, which I've already counted. We have a PhD in energy engineering in the Faculty of Engineering. We have PhD in materials engineering. We have a PhD in educational leadership and management. We have a PhD in biodiversity management.
You're totally breaking. You're totally breaking the ice for us.
So these programs that we run.
Before you get deeper into the programs, for someone out there who would love to enroll at the campus itself, just getting to know most of the other regions that you're talking about are more into the eastern part of Uganda. I don't want people to get jealous and they don't think you're maybe patriotic. As someone from the west would love to enroll and is like wondering, all the places are from the eastern side. How come?
The instrument which I talked about, the instrument that created Bustema University, mandated it, like I already mentioned, to be in the eastern region, and even the places it's supposed to operate from, and the places I've counted, the only one I didn't count is Kaliro, which is yet to come on board. All these are located in the eastern part of Uganda, but it's a national institution. The admission criteria used is so encompassing, so open. It brings on board Ugandans and non-Ugandans. So whoever, we have very many students who are in our university from outside eastern region, because it is a national institution. Yes.
Wow, amazing.
Maybe to add on.
Engineer Badu would love to chip in. Feel free.
Maybe to add on, I first of all want to thank His Excellency, the President of Uganda, General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, because at the time, Bustema led the way for the operationalization of regionalized universities in this country. because I bring this in relation to the question that you ask about
it being in the eastern region.
Being in the eastern region. As you realize that as the university took shape in 2007, many years thereafter, you've seen many public universities pick up being operationalized in other regions. But cascading from the original phenomena of having education at the center, this Bustema led the way of decentralization of higher education institutions, especially universities in this country, but with a unique touch of only science. So, like Mr. Chisaka has said, that the university is open to all categories, to all citizens of this country, especially those are interested in the special courses that we deliver at the university. Yes.
We shall get to know about the courses and knowing that it's open to all of us. Maybe not forgetting celebration itself that is coming through. This year has really been great, away from the lockdown and the institutions being closed and so many other sectors are not bearing fruit. It's amazing that at the start of this year, so many things have been put in place, and the women empowerment, the ICT itself, institutions coming up, the stakeholders embracing education, the change of the curriculum at the lower levels. Amazing stuff, especially this month as we speak. Lots of celebrations away from the matters, the Heroes' Day. There's a lot that has been done by government itself. And I know Busitema is having good news when you speak about the courses that you have and the students who that are yet to graduate from the institute itself. Engineer Badru, you being the chairperson of this convocation, just tell us what your role is to ensure that we have a great ceremony.
The 13th graduation of Bustema University is scheduled to take place on the 16th of June. This very year. It's going to be a Friday and it will start at 8 a.m. For us, graduation is the crowning of a child, a student's educational career. Sandra, if you didn't celebrate your first degree, doesn't matter how many degrees you're going to acquire thereafter. The first degree is always the most memorable because right away from nursery, all the years that you endure and the hurdles to get to university and you complete is a total fulfillment. So for us as the university, as a convocation, we hold that spirit. So we can tell you that the organization is top-notch. We are waiting, we are on top of the game, organizing everything that the students need to feel that this is a memorable event. The guests have already been invited, and that's why we are here, to actually affirm to our viewers that they are going to get a very good experience, the parents, the students, and I want to take on this special note to actually congratulate the students that are due to graduate. And when you don't, when that ceremony doesn't take place, you have not graduated. Are you aware of that? when the chancellor...
There's putting on the gown itself.
Yes, a gown apart, but when the chancellor does not confer the degree on you, the academic achievement on you, then you have not yet graduated. So the chancellor, that's how important that ceremony is. And for us from the convocation, it is the D-Day for us to welcome our members. The convocation, maybe later on as we go into discussions, I'll give you a breakdown of what the convocation really is, but it is the day the convocation admits its membership. Wow. So we're always very excited to take part.
Taking you back on a lighter note, like you say, if you missed out the celebration during your first degree, even if the rest come down, you won't feel the impact or the joy that it brings.
Absolutely.
When it comes to birthdays, one is like, you did celebrate my first birthday when I did not understand anything. Now I'm 10, 15, I don't want to celebrate. Questioning the mom to still go on each and every single year to celebrate
it's true.
The birthdays.
Yeah.
I'll just move to piece right here, the PRO,
Yes.
Busitema University. How is the mobilization? Now I can tell there's a lot of excitement.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot
And
of
then your
excitement.
office must be up and about
Yes,
to
we are.
make this come to pass and memorable for the university students.
Well, first and foremost, attendance of graduation is by invitation. All graduates have picked their invitations for their parents and guardians to attend the 13th graduation ceremony. And as a university, we have invited guests that we feel should be part of this ceremony. So all of them have received invitations from us. We look forward to hosting them. And to the public, we have made known the graduation ceremonies through our various communication channels and social media platforms. So we believe, yes, we are in gear. The graduation will go on. Everybody has been notified about it. Yes. And we shall be ready to receive them.
Okay,
And
I'm sure of my invitation at least. Just moving to the registrar right here, Mr. Kisaka. You were earlier on letting us know about the programs that you offer, breaking the ice, the excitement. I know there are a lot of innovations and of course instilling entrepreneurial skills in the young people. There are lots of challenges that come through. I need to do a course that will help me get so quick into the job market. Should I get into the tech world? Is it the in thing? We had opportunities to discuss with those that have done aviation, being a national broadcaster. We are privileged to meet all those other people that share their stories and inspiration. And then there are like some of the other courses that they would love are not available in some of the institutions that we do have. Let them hear you share those particular programs that Busitema has.
Thank you, Sandra. I already mentioned that we have a wide range of programs that we are offering in Busitema. We have 5 PhD programs, we have 15 master's programs. I don't know whether time can allow for me to enumerate them, but we have 40 undergraduate programs. We have 14 diploma programs. We have 6 certificate programs. This adds up to 8. The programs that we are running are science programs. Like we already mentioned, and actually which was supported by engineer, the convocation chair, that our programs are unique and respond to actually the NDP3 requirements of the economy and the urgency that we are responding to science. Busitema University is actually a recipient of the compulsory education, science education program in Uganda. So we have engineering programs, we have health sciences, we have agriculture, we have natural resource programs, science and education, so which are very critical to our economy. And they are unique. Some of them, actually, when you look at the faculties that we run, we inherited former colleges that were phased out to enable Busitema University establish itself. Like engineering program for technicians in Busitema, in Arapai it was an agricultural college, in Nagongera it was an education NTC. So these are infrastructures that have been bequeathed to Busitema University, and we are using them very well in the response to the demands of the economy. We are engaged in the high standard training and high standard research for socio-economic transformation and sustainable development in line with the demands of the NDP3. We are doing our job.
That is really amazing. Looking out for what will empower the economy, and you're putting effort through it.
Right.
ICT itself and the sciences, is it balanced that the more women taking up the spaces in the science subjects that you're talking about, and how affordable is it? Because that's another question they tend to ask, that certain courses are too expensive in various institutions, and it's not easy for them.
Considering that the programs we are offering are a priority to government, we have a very good number of students who are sponsored by government on all these programs, and in line with the funding from Higher Education Financing Board, some of the students are able to get, those who have missed on government sponsorship are able to get this funding for because it is a priority to government. But those who are paying for themselves, the fees is actually quite affordable. For example, I can say Bachelor of Medicine and Surgery, where in the other universities people are paying 7 million. No, this is a government institution, they are paying 2 million shillings per semester. And the rest of the programs have accounted in engineering and others. They are in the range of 1.1 to 1.4 million. And science and education is actually 700,000. So even the low-income earners, the parents, the guardians, are able to afford. But there are challenges, even that low tuition that they are supposed to pay sometimes can be a challenge, but it is quite affordable given the regulatory bodies like National Council for Education. It's also interested in the charges we make, and they approve the programs are in line with the charges, and they are good, they are affordable.
Just to interject a little, going back to the programs, Busitema offers a program, Higher Education Access Certificates. It's a bridging program. It's a very good program. Why am I saying so? If you fail to get a principal pass, enter into the university, you come and attend that program, and it will help you move straight into the study programs of the university. There's no need for one to repeat senior 6. So that is a program that we have introduced that is bringing on board many, those who feel, I have failed to make it. No, they have not failed to make it. The Busitema University is offering them that opportunity, so they should please come on board and apply for the program. And we have them study and get into the other study programs of the university.
As easy as it is to accommodate everyone, to all of us, so that we should all embrace the National Development Plan 3.
Yes.
Well, I'm sure the viewer has taken it on and has had the message. I'll just move to the engineer at the extreme end, Engineer Badru. Earlier on, you wanted to delve into the structure and what the convocation is all about at the university. Briefly.
Thank you, Sandra. The convocation seems a very complex term.
I know.
To break it down to
for the parents to
understand. We know that in schools, relate the convocation to an alumni association, or OBs and OGs association. I think that becomes very simple in terms of to the viewer. So, as you know, that the OGs and the OBs associations play a critical role in ensuring sustainability of these institutions. So the convocation in higher institutions of learning, it is called the convocation, or some call it alumni associations. The convocation is an establishment of Parliament of Uganda under the Universities and Tertiary Institutions Act, and is a semi-autonomous entity within the university that is meant to propel and advance the goodwill for the university, a development agenda for the university. The structure of the convocation, of the Busitema convocation, because every public university in this country is mandated to have a convocation. So for Busitema University, our structure, to break it down for you, We have a chairperson that runs as the executive head, myself, and I run it with my other 14 members. The membership of the convocation includes anyone that graduated from the university. If you ever got a transcript from the university, then you're a graduate of the university, and therefore you're a member of the convocation. The convocation brings members of staff, academic, support, and administrative. It also brings members of the university council. So you see how powerful it is. The current and the former members of the university council. And our council has very eminent persons. So you're sure that the leadership of the university is spot on. It also brings together members of Senate, the current and the former. And lastly, it also brings in members that the council can admit as they wish. So basically that is the structure of the convocation.
Okay, are they members?
No.
I saw Peace look at you. She wanted to add something.
She's a member. She's a member too.
I could tell. I saw her eyes. She never wanted you to leave out any of the other information concerning the Alumni Association. I'll just move to the engineer, Misaki Saka. You talked about the different campuses in those various regions that you operate in, with the different courses that are being enrolled in there. Just getting to know the criteria that you used, because another campus focuses on education, the other one will based on the agricultural products that will suit the job market and support government programs at the end of the day. Which criteria did you use per area, per each area?
Okay. Thank you, Sandra. I will not move away from the instrument that establishes Butema University. It commanded us to operate in those places, and that's where we are operating, except Kaliro, which is yet to come on board. So, and actually, the campus that we are running took over infrastructure from former colleges, and therefore, in running mounting programs, you need to have a number of basics, one of them being infrastructure, to establish, begin the programs. So like I've already mentioned, we already have infrastructure for engineering in Butema. Therefore, it will not make sense for us to go and begin faculty of engineering in Nagongera, where they had infrastructure for education, the labs and so on. The labs in engineering are already there, relevant for engineering. So once the mandate was given to Butema University to begin the university as a model of multi-campus model in different places, and in the view of the infrastructure that was already existing, University Council decided to establish faculties which are mounting related programs in those different areas, points. So we needed to use the infrastructure that was already there. And we are developing the infrastructure. Like you talk about health training, of course, we in Bari Regional Referral Hospital, we need a hospital to teach students, and therefore we had to be in the laboratory of teaching by being in the hospital. So these campuses are faculties offering related programs that need the infrastructure that was already there and already being developed in those places.
That
so
was
council
established.
was, yes, yeah, that is what the council did. This is what I can say.
And then someone, please, would love to add on?
Yeah, the criteria that they use. I think every study program has its requirements, the subject requirements that students the admissions office uses to admit students to a various program, the various programs. Yes, but mostly since it's science and technology university, when we mainly look at the science subjects that students have studied at A level. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
We
also,
needed clarity on that, because one would think could have been the need for a particular region to have such courses come through for them. Feel free, Engineer.
Absolutely so. You're spot on.
Okay, for the viewer who is watching today's episode, Education Forum, we're having a wonderful discussion, lots to do with Busitama University and the different programs they're enrolling, how affordable they are, and the entrepreneurial skills that matter. Not forgetting looking at the National Development Plan 3 and boosting the economy, like the President always puts it. Each and every single person getting into the money economy. And not forgetting still this month, this very year, we talked about the celebrations that have been coming through as far as the nation is concerned, and that also included Women's Day. That was during the month of March. Looking at more to do with ICT, they're empowering these young people to do STEAM, not only for the men, but also to let the women have the center stage when it comes to sciences, technology, mathematics, and Busitama University is giving you all that space. I'll just move to Peace, the lady. I know the ladies spend more time with the young ones before they get into the classrooms itself. And you being part of such a wonderful institution and the different programs that you offer, I'm sure you stand tall, proud of the university. What makes you stand out from other institutions?
What makes Busitama stand out from other institutions?
Yes, very unique.
What makes us unique are the programs that we offer. Busitama University offers programs that are tailored to lead to the development of this country. And the programs we offer are really the first of the kind that can be offered in Uganda. For example, our flagship program that the university has, that is agricultural mechanization and irrigation engineering. You know, this country is moving, is trying to promote agriculture so much. So that program would really develop this country. We also have mining engineering. You know how the mining sector is now starting to grow. So that program would help the country in that process that we are engaging in. So basically, we have that's what makes Busitama unique. We are not offering programs that are being offered in other universities. We are saying, no, what does this country need? And we are working with the industry to see what kind of professionals they would need at the end of the day. As we develop our programs, we bring them on board. So they advise here and there. So that is something unique about Busitama University.
I'll move to the engineer. Maybe
you want to chip in?
Maybe to supplement.
To expand more.
Expand more on the uniqueness of the university. In the true sense of a multi-campus institution in this country, Busitama is the only true form of multi-campus. Distinctive campuses spread out in the different parts of the eastern region. So we, as alumni, we pride in that. And when you look at the serenity and the reading environment within those campuses, it offers a very, in that is a unique future that, unlike other institutions, you are able to focus very well with minimal distractions in all our campuses. And that has contributed a lot to the quality of the graduates, because it's largely education and that's it.
And besides that, Sandra, the nature of the teaching, the delivery of the curriculum is quite practical and student-centered. We focus more on the competencies than churning out very quickly, completing, and you go.
Yeah, read your books, complete, and we get another cohort.
So our products are very practical. Engineer Msinguzi is the chairman of those products, because he has demonstrated to us that our products have proved to the world that Busitama University is a giant.
one can easily get into the job market, get into these opportunities that government has to offer.
Because we are practical in nature.
And we're training job creators, not seekers.
Wonderful.
That's a good one.
Good to know that we're smiling about education. One tends to think it's about you doing your work and qualifying, get out, get that transcript coming through for you. I'll just move again to the engineer. You smile a lot when you, earlier on you did smile so much when you talked about the Alumni Association itself at the university. I just want the lenses to focus yet again on you as you let the viewer get to know some of the values that make the alumni from Bositema University stand out, be respected. What are some of those values that you can cite that have enabled them or empowered them to easily merge within the society?
For us, it's two. We don't give much. Professionalism and discipline. If there is anything, because we do every year the university, the Directorate of Quality Assurance, with partnership with the Convocation, undertakes what we call graduate tracer studies to seek to understand how are the graduates of the university performing out there. By and large, when you look at the recently released graduate tracer study report, our employability stands at 83%. And the reasons with interactions with the employer is number one, commitment and hard work, professionalism, and discipline. I think when the recent report from the Faculty of Health Sciences indicates that the uptake of all our doctors, within just a little time of establishment of this faculty, they're very high demand. Yes.
Would you love to cite out some, now that you're talking about doctors, we're privileged right here to still host the best student last year, that is to do with the biomedical student who was the best last year. What are some of those other ones, now that you talked about the doctors, the ones that you've produced and they're standing out? Do you have some engineers out there?
There are very many. Because we are talking now 13 years, 12 years of graduation. We are, and when you look at the alumni out there and the strides, the accomplishments they have made, very few institutions can actually cope up the speed. So to mention a few, when you speak satellite, space science, you know that Uganda is sending its first satellite. We are here at UBC, and you know that you're managing this. You have satellites. You are involved into space science. One of our alumni, Omara Bone, is part of the team that is undertaking the research in satellite. That for us is very exciting and gives confidence to the public about the quality of education. We have, when we speak the parish development model, Peace here talked about that flagship unique program of agriculture mechanization. One of our alumni called Kazimir Victor is running a company called Akvo International and is powering the PDM in terms of equipment and irrigation technology. One of our other alumni, when you speak about electricity and hydropower, we are also there. One of our alumni, Gerard Opolot, is the project manager for East African hydropower, and he was recently recognized by the US Association of Engineers. So for us, there aren't quite so many. When we speak COVID-19, we undertook a lot of research, and our alumni were at the front line of that.
And I'm sure the registrar would love to also expand more on the great products that you produce to the market.
Very true. When we talk about natural disasters, we have Alan. Alan is taking part in the OpenStreetMap project, meant to map disasters in this country and how what interventions can be done, it is a big problem. And a lot of scientists, a lot of research coming out from the university, from members of the convocation. We participate in the National Science Week. I see you're very passionate about women affairs. Our own God liver, I know Mjisha, you know what she's doing in the space of artificial intelligence. So even when talk sports, Ibrahim Orich, you should be knowing him. He's a forward of Uganda Cranes. So the alumni and the public sector, we have many alumni in the public sector. We have many alumni in the private sector, and they are making us proud. I only urge them to continue to be good ambassadors of the university and continue to promote a very good image of the university at their workplaces. And like she said, we are creating the next generation of job creators, not job seekers. Many of our alumni out there, as they graduate, they start up companies. And these companies, they end up employing many Ugandans. But I like the fact that not on a selfish motive, that they usually give priority to BUSTEMA students. So the university is doing great, and that is the only way. That is the greatest yardstick any institution can ever use to tell the true definition of the quality of its graduates.
Oh, I'm sure someone is envious, and those who have not yet registered to be part of the association will definitely run to you.
I wanted to actually implore you to take a course at the university.
Well, I have my big sister's son. Every time you ask him, who do you want to turn out to be when you grow up? He's always saying, I want to be a farmer. And they're just right, yes, talking so much to do with the agricultural programs that you have and the PDM itself. Would you love to expound on what the engineer has just shared with us?
Yes, thank you, Sandra. The engineer has done very well in terms of engineering programs that were the initial programs we started with. And you had raised a question about doctors who have made their way through the system. I want to say that this is the 13th graduation. We have only had 3, it's going to be the 3rd graduation for the doctors from BUSTEMA University. So these are very young doctors. What we are proud of is, like you said, they have penetrated, they have been able to get engagement. They are in the private and the public sector. But with medicine, until you specialize, and then coupled with the experience that you can emerge and be seen in the service delivery system. So given that they are still very young, this is going to be the 3rd time we are graduating them. They have not yet made their way up there. But given the way the competences they have, the feedback we get from the community and their employers, the way they are intervening in the health delivery system is really good. They will make their way. So that is the status as of...
Well, I'm sure we can skip the other conversation that is to do with the programs that you're offering, meeting the required standards by the National Council of Higher Education. Should we just put a tick?
Oh, yeah, now there is a misinformation in the media, which we can talk about, and that are some of the programs. Of course, that information came from outside Uganda. I don't know whether the National Council of Education, which is the regulatory body, cleared for it to be published. But we have to make a response to it because it is already our students are actually sometimes getting very restless about the fact that some programs that are being offered are not, according to them, are expired. The true status for BUSTEMA University is we have about 7 programs that, according to that information, is expired, but which is not the case because we have reviewed them. But review of programs is a protracted process. It begins from the implementers at the department, it goes to the faculty board, it goes to stakeholder engagement outside the university, and then those views are gathered in a document and presented to approval organs within the university, then eventually it goes to National Council for Education. So all these have been done. We are reviewing those 7 programs. They have been done, but we're going to submit them to National Council. So this is review. Not that they have expired and they are irrelevant, no. They are still valid because they were accredited by National Council. So we are doing very well in terms of reviewing programs and taking them to National Council for accreditation, and we are tick in that area.
Okay. Well, great clarification coming through yet again about the university.
Because that's actually a subject of concern, because it raised so much public panic, and you know that the greatest affected stakeholder was actually the alumni of the different universities. Because during that period, as convocation heads, because I was speaking to my counterparts in the other universities, Makerere, Mbarara, and other public universities, about the so much demand that fake document, because it turned out from the press releases of done by the National Council for Higher Education that document was actually fake. It did not put out the actual status of these programs, but you know that it raised a lot of public concern. So in that regard, for me, I think on the other hand, is that it has been very helpful to awaken every stakeholder, right away from the parents to the students to the universities and to even our legislators, the MPs and the executive, because everyone has a role to play in ensuring the quality of education in this country. And Uganda, we've been doing so well on the African continent, even globally. We have the most prestigious institutions here, and you know that many within the region at least were a preference of choice to have education here. You should also know that the university actually has admissions of international students. This I needed to mention. So that for me, I think that the National Council of Higher Education has ably managed it well. Parliament came into force to actually, because they had a part to play about these terms. Does the course really expire, or it just needs review? And we are happy that the developments coming through is that term is not going to be used again. So the status is no longer going to be expired, but rather required to be reviewed, which gives people comfort really, because we have had these discussions. Does a driving permit, do your skills expire, or is the driving permit that expires?
The good thing we got clarity right from the top.
Right from the top.
To change the diction.
So we are happy that many meetings have been held between the Forum of Vice Chancellors, the National Council for Education, the Ministry of Education, Parliament, and this has been resolved.
It was wise to really eliminate that word expired.
And Bustema can give you the confidence that all the compliance, small compliance things that needed to be ironed out were handled by the university, and let the parents out there and the students stay calm. Just
plan about the graduation itself.
Yes.
That takes us to peace right there. Who are the chief guests? Chief guests, at least more about the feel of the celebration itself. And yeah, away from the chief guest itself, what is the reaction from the parents?
The chief guest at the 13th graduation ceremony of Sitema University will be the visitor, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda. Yeah, we have sent him an invitation We extended an invitation to him to come and officiate the graduation ceremony. We have not received any reject from him, a decline. So we believe we're going to be with him. And accompanying him will have ministers, some members of parliament will be there, and other dignitaries who will join us for the graduation ceremony. Well, the parents and stakeholders are really excited, and they're happy and excited about this 13th graduation ceremony. As you know, post-COVID, the 11th graduation ceremony was virtual, the 12th was blended, and this time around, this one is purely physical. So they're excited that they are all going to be at the graduation arena to witness their children receiving their awards.
Okay.
For what they have worked for all these years.
Time is against us. I'd love us to go on and have this conversation going through. I'll just move to the Assistant Registrar, Mr. Kisaka. You being an expert in the education field, and I'm sure you've groomed up so many. You are a role model, I should say, many looking up to you, and you being part of the alumni. Works wonders for them when they return. Before we let you go, I'm sure having a word come through from you would really be good for the viewer who is watching, something they can pocket.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Sandra. We passing over information to Ugandans that we are holding our 13th graduation ceremony next week on Friday, 16th of June, 2023. And we have invited the parents and other VIPs to join us. This is a momentous time for us. We invite people whom we have extended invitations to respond to our invitations and be with us. To our prospective graduates and even the former graduates from Bustema University, we are passing over a message to you that you continue lifting the name for Bustema University, known for uniqueness. Bustema University, whose motto is pursuing excellence wherever we are. So we urge you to keep the motto and also have the vision for Bustema University, which vision is Bustema University is a center for academic and professional excellence in science, technology, and innovations. So be innovative wherever you are so that you continue making us happy and proud. That's the message I want to pass over to the convocation and all the stakeholders of Bustema University. Thank you, Sandra.
Well, great words of encouragement coming from the expert himself. I'll just move to the extreme end, Engineer Badru. I'm sure with the submission you've been given unto us, someone would love to turn out and be like you now that you have engineering courses at the university itself, but I'm sure they cannot turn out really be like you. Yeah, and with the Alumni Association, you're creating the job creators and people who are able to lead others. True. Yes, having words flow from your mouth will work for the viewer before we let you go.
Thank you, Sandra, once again for the opportunity. But I want, as we said, we mark, because this is the biggest event in the university, the graduation, as we mark the 13th graduation, I'd like to first of all thank His Excellency the President and the Ministry of Education for actually starting up this institution. Their initial idea has not gone to waste, their initial effort and the people that actually kick-started the university, because they have really put in efforts to get it to where it is today. Maybe Sandra would like to inform you that Bustema University is putting up 6 institutes. Among the institutes is the Maritime Institute, where we are going to have East Africa's first harbour. We have soil institutes, climate change institutes coming up. We have chemical plants coming up. So we are thinking big things. As the vision is there, I would like to make a call to stakeholders, especially the Parliament and Ministry of Finance, because as a University Council member, I have come to get to the bottom of the problems the university is facing. And I think that this is a platform, as I would use as an alumni, because we are pro-development ambassadors of the university. That the university needs support, especially in infrastructure. Because when the university was starting, it wasn't availed a budget for putting up really very good infrastructure. And you know, it plays a critical role in education. So I want to congratulate the members, the students, fraternity, upon this great milestone, and wish them very joyful celebrations, and also commend the alumni out there to keep the Bustema University flag high.
Well,
thank you.
We'd also love to hear from Peace, knowing that at least women these days are also taking center stage. The men are letting us take the managerial positions, and looking at the government arm, at least we have other seats and positions that are for women. What is your message to the viewer away from the celebrations on the 13th?
To the viewers?
The 13th graduation on the 16th day of this month.
Yes. Dear viewers, as Busitema, we have done our part. We have set aside that day to award the graduates who have worked hard to achieve this. We wish them all the best, and we pray that let them be our brand ambassadors out there as we pursue excellency.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, it's been amazing spending time with you on such a wonderful conversation. For the viewer who has been following this conversation, just to remind you of our guests for the day. I've been talking about Busitema University and the great programs that they do have. At the extreme end, I had Engineer Badru Musinguzi. Thank you for your time. Wish you all the best.
You're welcome.
As you lead the alumni.
Thank you.
And just next to Engineer
Hope to
Badru.
be here next time.
Yeah, wow, amazing. And then just next to the engineer, we had the PRO, Public Relations Officer of Busitema University. Thank you, Peace Karunji, for your time.
Welcome, and thank you for hosting us.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Just next to me, we're also joined by the Senior Assistant Registrar, Mr. Kisaka. Thank you for making time.
Thank you.
So patriotic.
Welcome.
I love your energy when you talk about the programs and what you offer at the university.
Thank you, thank you.
Well, wish you great celebrations.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we had time for this program, this episode of Education Forum. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Great programs that are coming through from the university, away from the sciences itself. They're going green-led programs, and considering the government programs that we have in position, the PDM, as they embrace and equip the students out there, and for the parents trying to figure it out on where you can place your child. I am sure you had those answers covered for you. So join the celebrations on the 16th of this month as they celebrate and graduate, and have this graduation coming through the 13th graduation at Busitema University. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Thank you for choosing the National Broadcaster. God bless you.